right, so I have Ryan Chelf with me, my good friend, aka my son. And yeah, it's the first time we're doing this together. Cheers, my brother.
Skull.
Cheers to everybody at home. SCUM Movie Night. Can everybody hear us? Is the chat working? All of those things? I think so. We'll see. Yeah.
Already got one.
One what?
Told you. My whole goal tonight was how many times I could get Nikki to say OMG tonight.
Oh, yeah. All right. Perfect. One. Hey, Amy. How are you doing, Amy?
I apologize.
I apologize. So, yeah, Mr. I Apologize here in the I Apologize Vulture Culture shirt. I got my brand new Scum Daddy shirt that just came out in the mail. So it's exciting to have the new merch. All right, everything's working. Perfect.
Fantastic.
So tonight we're doing The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price. And so this was one of the earlier Scum movies that we ever did. But we did it on Facebook Live. And so we've been going back the first Wednesday of every month and rewatching some of the old films, the really good ones anyways, with a guest. And that kind of keeps it interesting, keeps it fun. So that's what we're doing tonight. And yeah.
So I'm not just here for my good looks. I'm here for color commentary too. So we'll start that off with a good one. Blue.
Blue?
Color commentary.
Color commentary? Is
blue.
That's the color of your commentary?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. That's awesome. Hey, Max, how's it going? Good to see you.
Howdy, Max.
Yeah. So we'll just give a couple of minutes for a couple more people to show up, and then we will get started with a classic Daddy Price movie. I'm kind of nervous about this one in the sense that it's a sad-ass movie.
It is a sad-ass movie, but I mean, at the same time, it was a very enjoyable movie. It had a lot of very good elements to it, and I don't know if we want to talk about it quite yet, but the thing of which it's based on, and like they'll tell you this in the first 10 seconds of your of the credits and everything, it's based off the same book that the Will Smith I Am Legend movie was based off of.
Right. So
you have all of that playing in together here. So like you're gonna see some similarities between the Will Smith movie, but this is a much better done movie in my personal opinion.
100%. Hey, how's it going, Berto?
Oh, we're on sneakers.
Hey, what's up, Kyle? How's it going? Yeah, the Scum Daddy shirt. Everybody loves the Scum Daddy. They're for sale. I'll do the exclamation mark merch in the chat.
Yeah, sell out. Also, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'm going to help him sell out because he's really bad at it.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Like the video, subscribe, make sure we have all those things in there because YouTube algorithms and bullshit.
Yes, so we're almost at 800 subscribers. So everybody, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It makes a huge difference. As soon as we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, that's going to be a big deal. And beyond that, it's really awesome that we're on the screen at Sneakers. I always appreciate you guys having us on. This is going to be a lot of fun tonight because we got 2 Lake Worth bartenders on. Yep. So it's great to be.
Speaking of other Lake Worth bartenders, did Ray just give up trying to figure out Harry's computer system or Harry's TV systems?
Oh, it totally works. Yeah, it's not difficult, but he's just a little too old.
Well, you have to remember when he was younger, like when they first came out with TVs, he had a remote that put the little bird out to go change the channel, like in the Flintstones.
Yeah,
because he was sitting there watching it with Fred and Barney.
Yes, yeah. So he's just an old ass man, and it's just a little beyond him. But yeah, it's I think as simple as you just go on the screen and go to YouTube and hit the video. Like it's not hard.
What's up, Adam?
How's it going, Adam? Cheers, brother.
Score.
Yeah, you know what we're drinking tonight. Pass that bottle over to the...
Yes. I have to thank my friend Kyle. I don't know if he's watching along with us, but Kyle got this for me as a Christmas present. We tried this the first night of New Year's Eve, but we were on the parking lot after the bar had kicked us out, so I don't remember what it tasted like then, but it's delicious and I love it. So thank you, Kyle Giambagno, if you are in the chat. If you're not, thank you anyways.
Yes. Hey, how's it going, Annie? Yeah, I think you're a big fan of the Elijah Craig small batch, aren't you, Adam? If I recall correctly. I don't know.
I was gonna say because I've done some of the Elijah Craig before because that was what Ray showed me. They made the apple cider cocktail with. Oh, that came out really well because you have that little apple crisp in there. You get that little Granny Smith sour bite in there and everything like that. But I'm getting a little more vanilla. Ooh, Grangestone. I like Grangestone.
I have never had Grangestone, so
it's a really good Scotch. I think if I'm not confusing it up, Grangestone is one of the few that it's like a Total Wine exclusive, so you can't go to like ABC or any other liquor store and get it there.
Oh, really?
You have to get it from Total Wine.
Interesting.
Yes. Oh, and Four Roses, always great. I mean,
Yes.
half of his cocktails at library are made with it.
Absolutely. I'm just checking out how our beards look in comparison.
Well,
And
so
mine is a little bit more well lit, and the gray helps.
well, I was gonna say you have the definition. Mine does not have that robust red look that it normally does in like yellower
Yeah.
lighting, because it's such a white blue lighting on here. It's like it's just blending into the black shirt. So there's
Yes.
so here for
But
anyone
I
that
would-
doesn't know, there is this much beard there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely longer than mine. Not that size is everything, but
No, it's about how you use it.
it's about how you use it. But yes, yours is a little bit bigger than mine. Just so anybody at home.
May I have that noted by the record, please?
Yes, yeah. Okay. Let's watch this fucking movie.
Yes, before we get demonetized, before we even get monetized.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Here we go. Oh, what's also worth saying is this is the colorized version. So
Yes.
when we watch this on Facebook, we watch the black and white version.
Yes.
And we will be doing the full color version. Oh, we need to change the audio. That's one thing I didn't do. Remember?
Yep.
We had the computer crash again. It seems to be like a ritual for when we have a guest. The computer always crashes.
It detects the fear.
It knows.
It knows.
Yes. Okay, so this movie starts off. Ooh, the colorizing is really terrible right there on the green road.
I was gonna say Herbie.
Yeah, there's a lot of moss on this road.
Yep.
But overall, I'm really excited. We checked out the color a little bit ahead of time.
Yeah, there are a few spots that look good and everything.
Yeah.
Now-
Turn the volume down just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, actually, here's something we didn't talk about last time. At least I can't remember if we did, because we drank heavily because it was quarantine.
Yep.
Slightly less heavily than we're going to be drinking tonight. But they start off by showing us all these bodies in the street and everything like that. But then by like the first 15 minutes of the movie, we don't see that anymore.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna pay more attention to that on this one, this pass. But what an amazing intro! Just the way that this movie
Right.
opens up, and it's like just death everywhere.
Right. And I thought it was fantastic. So,
Look at how handsome he is.
well, yeah, it's Daddy.
Oh, dude, he's looking. What's his name from Jurassic Park?
Alan.
No, I was thinking Ian Malcolm. Like,
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. But
Another
yeah.
day to live.
Why would you set an alarm in the
get started.
apocalypse?
Yeah, good
December
point.
1965. Is that all it has been since I inherited the world? Only 3 years. Seems like 100 million.
Hey, how's it going, Eric? Cheers to you. Cheers to everybody at home. Let's get fucked up and watch Daddy Price be a sex god. Look at that cranky bitch. It's me when I wake up in the morning.
Life goals. I wish I was that good looking in the morning.
Holy shit, yeah. He's like trying to look like he's disheveled, but even he can't fake being disheveled because he's so well put together.
I know.
Yes. Structure is good. We all know some people who need some more structure in their life. Taz.
I'm right. Oh. It's like, I got Nikki for that. What do you think I'm doing?
So,
Bacon also helps. Bacon, I've yet to find a problem that bacon hasn't helped.
oh, I eat bacon every day. Bacon is amazing. Maybe one day I'll be vegan, but like bacon is the last thing that I would hold out on.
I've been seeing a meme going around lately that says that since fuel is created by fossilized animals and everything like that, vegans can't drive cars.
Yeah. Yeah, structure's good.
Yeah, I own the world. An empty, dead, silent world.
That is one thing about this movie that we noted. Maybe we'll just try to say it once right here at the beginning is
More of them for the pit.
some of the
Every
zombie
day
thing.
there
Got a
are
little
more.
fly flying around here.
They live off the weak ones and
I'll shut up.
leave them for the pit.
Oh, right. They're vampire zombies in this movie.
Yeah, they typically go more vampire. They were more zombie-esque in the I Am Legend with Will Smith, where here they are far more vampiric.
Yeah, they're basically slow vampires. That's the way I think of them, I guess.
No, they're just not flamboyant vampires. They're very human vampires.
They're very heterosexual, bottled up, repressed white people vampires instead of like Lake Worth drag queen vampires. I really want to slap that really fly, but I don't want to slap the expensive synthesizer I just got. God damn it. I thought that was being... I thought that sound, like I hit this and it started the horrible sound. Oh,
it would be our luck.
Yeah. Hey, Gaetano, how's it going, brother? Our first guest, our first SCUM Movie Night guest. Cheers to you, brother. And cheers to you. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
See you in the 80s. How's it going?
Not sure I know who See You in the 80s is.
One of the people who follows the channel more for the synthesizer stuff that I do.
Oh,
so okay. I've seen them.
So you've been watching his descent into madness lately.
Yeah, well, I don't think people have even realized on the YouTube channel how many synthesizers they don't know. They can't see how many synthesizers are just in this
I walked
room.
in, I thought I was walking into either a repair shop or the start of a museum.
Yeah, it's not good. The synthesizer addiction is real now.
I need more mirrors. And this garlic's lost its pungency.
Yeah, Gaetano's never on time. Yeah, fellow prologue user. So the prologue isn't in this room right now. But
I was gonna say, I think it was sitting on this chair before I got here.
Yeah.
There was a time when eating was pleasurable. Now it bores me. Just fuel for survival. I'll settle for coffee and orange juice this morning. But first there's my life to consider. I'd better replace that garlic.
Also, another interesting thing about this movie is the use of the voiceover. Like, you go a lot through this movie before he even says anything.
I was gonna say, yeah, I do remember that where it was like he is voicing over, but we don't hear him actually talk. Like outside the radio thing, I don't think we see him talk for the first like half hour or something like that.
At least. I agree, Nikki. That's a lot of acidity in the morning. Just straight coffee would be fine for me. I don't need anything more than that.
Yeah, because then you can put your bourbon in it.
I do love bourbon and coffee.
I was gonna say, isn't that what you define as your first moment of actually being on vacation?
Exactly.
Bourbon and coffee.
It can destroy my reason, and reason's the only advantage I have over them. I've got to find where they hide during the day.
Hey, Kelly, how's it going?
One of them. Now, where did I finish off yesterday? Madison Street to 31st Avenue. 11 kills. Over 3 years. And there's more than half the city I haven't searched.
Oh, I forgot he's also a woodworker.
Oh, yeah.
He's making himself some spikes for killing vampires.
Now, I was going to say that's the one part of like being on stream now that I'm going to be apprehensive about, because normally I just sit and chat and like dump all this lore.
Please do. Please.
But I don't want to talk over anything in the movie.
Luckily, this one has some pretty good gaps.
How many more of these will I have
but
to make?
I know for me,
destroyed.
If I feel like they're saying something important,
their lives are mine.
I'll stop like that. Like just, you know, you can notice me do it. I picked that up like... Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so my first fun fact here is that, and Nikki, I may need you to Google the name of this if you don't know it off the top of your head. But there's actually a disease that they trace the history of the origin of vampirism to. I think it starts with a P. It's like phosphorus or something like that. But the two major side effects of this disease is that it gives you an intense sunlight sensitivity, and it gives it this extreme sensitivity to high sulfuric content foods. So that's why the garlic aversion, as well as the not going out in the daylight.
That is so cool. Yeah.
So
someone can fact check us on the name. That would be good.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, we should do these Unterbergs.
Oh yeah, shit.
I completely forgot.
Yes, courtesy of our loving boss at Revelry.
Yes, thank you.
Hashtag Revelry Lake Worth.
I hope Brando's got us on the fucking screen, but maybe he doesn't. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and pronounce what Nikki just put in chat, but that is the word for the disease I'm talking about.
So, thank you very much, Brando, for the Unterbergs.
That means one more stop.
I guess I'll just tap these. Oh, God.
Every time.
Every time. So usually I give we save the bottle caps. Usually I give them to you, but I'll actually be a
I can get
I was
rid
going to
of
say,
that
because
later.
somebody's going to be bartending there tomorrow night if you want to go see him, 4 to 11.
Yep. You guys are so much better at promoting me than I am.
It's because you hate talking about yourself for some reason.
I'm not into that.
Oh, the other fun fact about vampires, the reason that they say you don't see their reflection is because when mirrors were made originally, they'd be backed with silver. And silver tarnishes when it comes in contact with sulfur. So they said that whenever a vampire's reflection hit the mirror, they were actually, the demonic essence from them was being absorbed by this silver, and that's why you couldn't see a vampire's reflection.
Oh, that is fascinating. Mm-hmm. Do you know, like, aren't mirrors still made with silver?
Sometimes. Nicer mirrors are. More common mirrors are typically just a piece of glass in front of us, a highly, fine silver paint.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't need real silver. You just use anything that's the same reflectiveness. I'm glad that Gaetano did the slow laugh there, because that went right over my head at him. The first joke to go over my pretty little skull.
He's wasting a lot of gas.
Yeah. And I guess he's done this many times before. Adam.
I also say that of all the post-apocalypses I've ever seen, he's the best dressed by far.
Oh, yeah.
He's keeping the apocalypse classy.
He looks so much better than the average Lake Worth man dresses.
Yeah.
And you could make the argument that Lake Worth is in the middle of the apocalypse, but...
I mean, we're like a pair of leather pants away from the Mad Max and such, but yeah.
I mean, it's definitely, our Publix looks less organized than this one.
I was going to say, I actually had to fight more carts to get in tonight to cook dinner.
Yeah. Yes, I love the vintage cars, Amy. But yeah, I said it to Gaetano before I had him on, but feel free to talk over me at any point while we're here, because
I'm going to start doing it right now.
I will be here every SCUM Movie Night, but I've only got you for sure this one. Hopefully I'll have you back. I would love to have you back, but you're the more interesting part of this, so if I'm ever talking, I'll shut up if you have something to say.
I mean, it's usually nonsense or really bad jokes. When did this movie take place?
In the, ooh, good question. I can look it up.
Because Nikki just asked the question, where are the Twinkies? And I'm trying to think if Twinkies were even invented when this movie came out.
Did you read See You in the 80s comment?
No, I did not.
I'd love to know what you think about that. I think this was made in the 50s.
Well, I think the biggest difference, just because most of the experiences we see of 50s talk and everything is through these old time movies. In the 50s and everything, we were starting to see that transition from stage play to screen. And a lot of the performers were still taking all of their very clear enunciation and their very professional appearances and dictation and everything from that you have to have on stage so that you can make sure that you're clearly understood throughout the movie or throughout the entire theater, and bringing that onto the screen where it slightly seems over the top and unnatural, but at the same time, because that was how they were trained, they don't know how to do different.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But I do also know, you have some colloquial and and some other small changes and stuff like that.
No, but I think you're right that as far as I can tell, as compared to in the UK, I don't think there's been much evolution in American accents, because we're so caught up in the South versus North thing, where there's like the southern accent is the same as it ever was.
Well, actually, I was seeing an interesting article that was saying that the modern day Boston accent is closer to old school Cockney than what we picture as Cockney.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. That makes sense though, right?
Right.
Because that was Cockney from back then.
Right. And so I saw this whole thing about how like the language changed less actually in America than it did. Oh, I forgot that he just straight up staked a woman there.
Yeah, just stabbed the bitch.
Just like you. So it must be Tuesday.
Oh, very posh speaking. Posh is a funny word for, here, I'm gonna be right back because I've got Adam's cigars. I want to tempt him with it.
Ooh. And if Adam doesn't show up for them, Ryan lays claim to them because Ryan also likes cigars.
And it's like, hey, you have my cigars? Like, when I'm at work already.
Kyle, if memory serves, the I Am Legend movie was caused by the cure for the common cold, I believe, was what they actually claimed it to be.
And you can see the humidity. I don't know if you can see it. It's at 70, the hygrometer. Does that mean it's gross?
I usually try to keep mine between 65 and 69. Mostly around 69 because nice. I just want to see what you have in here. I just want to see what you have in here. Okay, we got some fun stuff. Okay, Leaf by Oscar. I met that guy. He's interesting. Do you know Island Jim? Because the first two cigars I pulled out of here have his face on them. He is one of the most interesting individuals that I've ever met in the cigar industry. Here, you can have those back.
All right. So anyways, Adam, just fucking text me before any of my shifts and I'll bring it with me. I don't want to keep it in my car. I feel like that'll get him all messed up.
Nikki, you're not going to turn into a robot because you got the COVID vaccine.
Oh yeah, Nikki's already halfway gone. that might be it.
Well, at least you're in good company with like half your coworkers and stuff.
See, in the 80s, they've been rolling out the vaccine in the UK for longer than us, haven't they? Look at how beautiful that coloration is.
Back to darkness.
Oh, well, I'll be at Revelry tomorrow? Cool. Then I'll put him in my car tonight. And Adam, you should show up. But yeah, 1964, I think this movie came out. So,
maybe.
Oh, look at that David Bowie looking loose ass suit. But yeah, this movie's sense of I don't know what the word is for it. Sense of place. Like it just has such a real great vibe.
It does.
So Nikki is a nurse over here in the good old US of A, and she's got it. So she's waiting for the second one.
Morgan, come out. Come out.
I forgot they talk.
Yeah. Yeah, I did forget that too.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah, no. Even though we've seen it.
Kyle, thank you for translating my girlfriend because I don't know what she says half the time.
Oh, yeah, that went over my head too. One thing about this movie is like the one mar on this, or the one, what's the word I'm looking for? The one thing that falls a little flat with this movie is the vampires. They're unfortunately not very scary.
No, it's very much just like they put corpse paint on a light application of corpse paint on a few people and then said just kind of shambled. I forgot she came this early into the movie.
I don't remember this, yeah. So I'm kind of going to pay attention for a change. Yeah, COVID wasn't fun. I had it, so I would
Another
recommend.
day to start all over again.
Sorry about that.
That's all good.
I apologize.
I got the real man here to say I apologize.
Oh, here. Let me just do it in the chat too. So that we can.
But yeah, this one's.
Let me not punch the mic.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Is these mic stands are pretty noisy. Oh god, that was terrible. So, yeah. I apologize.
I apologize. Name's Faraday. Ulysses Faraday.
Ulysses Faraday.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah, Vincent Price is having some feelings. He does such a great job in every movie, though. It's, I don't know if you want to explain to everybody actually where the I apologize thing came from.
I'm trying to remember where I started that from.
Well, maybe you could explain your customer service tactic in Ulysses Faraday.
Okay, so at work, sometimes I answer customer service calls and everything like that. And I have figured out the easiest way to not make people want to yell at you is to just do a nice low southern drawl that takes forever to actually talk. So, and I had created this persona of Ulysses Faraday, which I don't know where I came up with the name originally, but I just fell in love with it. So, like, I'll answer the phone. It's like, thank you for calling. My name's Ulysses. How may I help you?
I'm going to move the mic a little closer to your face.
Yeah, because I always kind of get down and lunge like this, because then it takes a little bit easier to talk like this, and people take a little more time. And then all of a sudden, they just sit there and air all their grievances. They say everything, and then you go, well, I apologize that you feel that way. Let me see here what I can do to get you taken care of, all right? How about you hold on for just a tick? I'll be right back. Put them on hold, go talk to whoever I have to. It's like, all right, well, here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to transfer you on over to somebody who's actually taking care of this for you. They're going to be able to give you a little more in-depth answer. Or if it's like, we're going to get back to them. Actually, my favorite one was I told the lady that, like, we didn't have an answer for her. So I go, we'll be back with an answer for you sometime within the fortnight. And she goes, oh, well, thank you, Ulysses. It's like, you're welcome. You have a wonderful day.
I just love that, like, at your place, they'll be like, if you have a customer's really pissed, they'll be like, we need to get Ulysses on this. Because,
Yes,
like,
it happens so many
suppresses.
It's hilarious. And so, like, literally, I've had people, like, stop their conversations with with each other and stuff like that to just listen in on a Ulysses conversation.
They'll be everywhere.
I will say there are certain scenes of this that I like a lot more with this coloration on it than I did, and like it has a lot more poignancy than the.
Yes, although this is still just as bad as it ever was.
Yeah, no, but inside the church was great. Inside the church had a very like.
Oh, this shot is amazing.
Yes,
looking.
this one too. Thank you, Amy, and thank you, C in the 80s.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, I am technically a true Southerner. I was born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida, which is as south in Florida as you can go before it becomes north again.
Yeah.
I just got rid of the Southern accent because it made me harder to employ down here.
Really?
Yeah, I had a lot harder time getting employed when I spoke, because I used to talk with a much more Southern drawl, and I was like always kind of stumbling on my words, always sound like I had a lip packed and shit like that.
So the thing is, like, we're bonded. Everybody who's born in Florida has a unique bond that is inseparable. But I'm definitely culturally a New Yorker.
See, whereas like
You're definitely culturally a Southerner. You know?
right. Well, I mean, I was raised a cowboy. My grandpa literally raised me on John Wayne movies and Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
So.
And you can hear it in, like, when I say the word talk.
Yeah, you start putting like a little bit of a U sound in talk.
Yeah, instead of talk, I say talk.
Yeah. Whereas like half the words I say, I forget to put a G on the end of them. Or
What's a good example of that?
like I'll say talking instead of talking.
Talking? Yeah. Where are you from, Amy? In Duval?
Yes. Yes, Eric. Eric gets me.
Oh, Southern Virginia. That's stupid. It's right there on the screen.
We're teaching Daddy how to read this week.
Yeah. I know.
We just got through F. He learned that one really quick because F you.
Oh, dear. Midwesterners are like a mystery to me. They're so nice.
Sometimes. They're nice until they're not.
Yeah, I wasn't saying Nikki was nice though.
Oh no.
Look at that projector. It's so cute. That's like everybody watching SCUM Movie Night. Like just like smoking cigarettes and crushing bourbon. And...
Yeah, I was gonna say. he kind of looks like a demented Walt Disney right now. Oh, I forgot about the whole subplot of this.
Look at that eye makeup though. Holy shit.
Quick in chat, eyebrow check.
What is it?
Exclamation eyebrow check?
Oh shit, I just skipped back like by a lot.
You missed it.
Where, somewhere in here? Yeah,
right
there we go.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. I don't know what I did.
Baby, put a space.
There we go. Is this it? Is that what does it?
I think so. Maybe. Talk about it.
That'll never get old.
Nope.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say, Nikki has literally started saying how ready she is for going out tonight by saying, it's like, okay, I matter a lot tonight. Like, babe, my eyebrows don't matter enough right now.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, Mako's here.
Oh, Mako. Hey, buddy.
Came to visit. Something so nice about cats. I wish you could see the cat.
Just know that there's a fuzzy orange being at the end of my arm. And he's adorable.
Man, she looks like Jackie Kennedy is hot. Like, as fuck is what I meant to say, but as hot is what came out, and that's...
It's okay, we're working on words.
Yeah. I forgot these scenes where, like, Vincent Price is kind of going crazy.
I mean... This is probably the best conversation he's had all month.
Yes.
Which, actually, this was a whole ass mood when we started in quarantine. Like, I remember how many of us were just saying, oh, I relate so hard to this moment right now.
It's actually a little bit different, because, like, when we watched this movie, it was, like, a month into quarantine or something, maybe 2, and we were just, like,
yeah, I haven't seen another human being in, like, 3 weeks.
And we started crying. Laughing, but then crying because we're so alone.
With bourbon in hand.
Yes.
Or scotch.
Yeah, it was like this scene, we were all like, oh my god, this is hitting way too close to home right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you hear, Morgan? Morgan?
So what is it? Some of these vampire zombies like have a little bit of consciousness left in them or something like that?
Well, I mean, and we're gonna. I don't want to say too much because it starts spoiling.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything.
Because there are some new watchers in here.
Yeah, that's true. And people will watch this.
Perfectly.
Dead Alive?
Well, so that's a 1993 film. So the big issue with that is all the movies that we're doing have to be, well, for the most part, with one exception so far, are public domain movies, because otherwise we start getting in trouble for watching them and stuff like that. So all the movies we have are what, 1940s and earlier for the most part.
So it actually is weird, the state of copyright. But the general rule is anything from like 1931 and back, you're really good.
Right.
But then there's other movies like Night of the Living Dead that were made in the 60s, but just were never they never applied for the copyright,
right,
so they're in the public domain.
And then there was like also the issue is, if you look on our list, and you'll see it at the end of our movie night, we have all the SCUM movies that we've watched ranked. 4 out of 5 of the Sherlock Holmes are public domain. One of them is not, and I don't know how we got away with it, but sheer from luck of the devil.
Yes. So this colorized version of this movie may not be in the public domain actually because of the because whoever colorized it might own some rights to that version of it. So if that's the case, all I can say is I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to break.
We don't say we're sorry around here.
It's highly theoretical.
I apologize.
Yeah. Yeah, so TCC Cinema or whoever you are, I apologize.
See, why does it sound so much sexier when you do it?
It's just, I've got this, no brains, but I've got a decent, smooth voice.
It isn't, Verge.
Is that what you really think, or just what you'd like to think?
I cannot accept half-baked theories that sell
We on the
newspapers.
lag between the
I'm a
vocals
scientist,
and the
not an alarmist.
image.
You're whistling past the graveyard.
Yeah.
It does
Is that
look like there's a
commentary on my
lag.
work at the lab?
We both know how hard you've worked.
I'm sorry, Ben. I just can't accept the idea of
Yeah, we may
universal
go
disease.
do a pause or something.
I think it's probably baked into the actual video. Like it could be
All right,
they
Kathy.
Oh,
Who
gotcha.
can resist that?
could be that
face?
they've redubbed the audio
All right.
over just the
Card
scene.
tricks. Card tricks.
I don't remember it being this way in this, but we'll see.
Robert,
We can do
Well, I
a
was
quick
gonna
pause.
is it possible?
We'll give it a chance, but I have a pretty good feeling.
Can't accept the idea of
Yeah,
universal
okay.
disease.
Gotcha.
I think it's just the part of the movie. But I forgot this is the part of the movie where we sort of
All right,
get
Kathy.
the
Who can
backstory that
resist
he's a
that
scientist who
All right.
doesn't
Card
believe
tricks.
in the disease
Card
or
tricks.
the
Well, I
what
was
is
gonna
it,
say,
the
I
cure?
can't remember what they were working on a cure for in this.
Is it possible this germ or virus could be airborne?
Green Onions is a great song.
Could
Anything is
COVID be
possible.
airborne?
The best brains in the world have been running through this thing with a fine-tooth comb. The germ is visible under a microscope, but it's not like any bacilli I ever known.
In what way?
Those fucking
It can't be
eyebrows.
destroyed by any process we've been able to uncover.
But with the whole world trying, there must be a solution.
Hey, Mommy! When are you gonna cut the cake?
Cake.
Right now, our problem is to cut that cake.
Hey, Mommy! Hey, Mommy!
Coming.
Yeah, see that
coming.
property of TCC by pubic. Cubic. Sorry,
That's Freudian slip.
sorry.
If I ever saw one.
Yeah. That woman's eyebrows have me feeling a certain way.
Oh, we know. All she's missing is some shoulder pads and some triangle titties in your set.
Oh my god, that's my shit. But yeah, so if this is owned by them, I apologize, and we won't do it again. I'll have to hire Ulysses to help deal with the public domain fiasco.
I'm just gonna make a blanket PR like I apologize video. I apologize that we used your video without permission. We did not mean nothing by it.
We thought it was in the public domain, but turns out it wasn't. That's on our, that's our fault. So we're gonna make good on that. We'll take the video down in a fortnight.
Yeah, well, we'll get right on that for you, and I do apologize. Well, we may be able to work out some contingency plan here between the two of us, maybe come to some sort of an arrangement that makes us all amicable for the situation.
Yes, I'd be happy to have all the monetization of this video go straight to you. That way you can make all the money off of this video. I don't need to make any of that. Maybe just like, maybe I'll get 50%.
Jump from nothing to 50 real fast right there.
Yeah, I changed my mind. Whoa, what is she wearing?
Too much.
Where's that cake at?
Always does.
Jesus
How do you
Christ.
feel?
Look at how
Right,
much
Amy,
hairspray.
I'm all right.
Oh, don't get up, honey.
I'm not sick, Bob. I'll make
You
your
don't
breakfast.
have to.
I'll be all right. Go on and read your paper.
Sorry, I just had a flashback as she's getting up saying, I'm not sick, almost falling over. It's like every drunk girl in Lake Worth ever. I'm not drunk. I swear, I'm not drunk.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay.
And by every drunk girl, he's talking about me.
No, because you've never gotten drunk in Lake Worth because you only get drunk when you're on vacation. You can't work and drink at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I don't like working and drinking. Devin and Gaetano, they were like, we were doing shots at the end of the night, but I was doing like a half shot because I've been doing shots the whole fucking night, right?
Right.
You know, like little shots, but you know, I'm a lightweight and they fucking roasted me so bad.
Well, I know I can outdrink Devin. I've never tried outdrinking Gaetano.
Oh, sweetheart, look, if you don't feel well, please go back to bed.
I'm just
I don't know how that would go.
Yeah. Well, you've got to factor in some chemical supplementation that Gaetano's got
all
going
we're
on
working on
the side to help him with sobriety.
Maybe you
That
better not
probably
send it to
works.
school.
Well, I eat a lot of bread.
I wasn't saying you weren't drinking all night. I know you were over and doing the comedy
I
night,
should go
but
to work.
I have to.
I was going to say, I know last time Gaetano and I were drinking together, Nikki got very annoyed very fast.
was that a thing?
It's gonna be
That
all
was
right.
when we were, she was just like, okay, your two senses of humor play off each other far too much and it's too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Nikki, I'm just
What was
airing out
the
every
joke you
conversation
said?
we've ever had.
You had a
Oh, Oh, you're talking about the one.
Lesbians.
Yes. So.
Bi girls, not lesbians.
Yeah. So someone brought up, it's like, Nikki, you're bi, right? And it's like, so, and someone goes, so what does that mean? Gaetano goes, oh, it means she likes men and drama. And that guy goes, eh. And I go, no, it means she likes men and orgasms. And then all of our drunk asses just lost it. And
Oh my God.
And then I don't remember who it was, but somebody looked at me and was like, wait, aren't you dating her? It's like, I said what I said.
Honestly, the two of you together is toxic.
Wait, me and Alex or me and Gaetano?
I think the three of us together for Alien Night, which is coming up. We need to talk about that.
Yes.
That all communications are ended outside.
We're going to need to get another chair.
Yes, I heard.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm going to just borrow one from outside.
Where's
off
Okay.
the patio.
Well, he should be here by now.
You two stay on this virus theory until I decide it's exhausted.
Let me
Right.
look on Facebook to see when that is. Let's hype that up a little bit.
Morgan will fill you in.
All right, sir.
Yes, we're actually planning out the future. This is the first time we've ever been forward thinkers in our lives.
Science
Yeah.
have to say today. Or the
Sorry,
Oh,
babe.
he's trying, Ben, just like the
Thank
rest.
you for putting up with at least
nothing
me
works.
for as much as you have.
Okay, so it's January 20th is we're going to have Gaetano and Ryan back for the great alien debate.
Now, if memory serves, I'm moderating that and fact checking.
Yes, so you'll be there to stop us if I pull any low blows on
Ben,
Gaetano.
it's as simple as this. An unknown
And to do
curve
some
has been
fact checking.
thrown around the world.
Ooh, the colorization is terrible here.
Yeah,
Look at his face.
And that blue halo you get around their heads.
Yeah, the blue halo and just he looks more dead than the corpse makeup.
Oddly, yeah.
Burning the body.
Well, because like certain pieces of their face don't turn gray, are still gray and everything.
Yeah, it's like bluish
Like he looks
gray.
very alive, but that's because that background also has that bright yellow too.
Yeah, but he looks fucked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, we love you too,
They
Nikki.
exist, yes.
Nikki says she loves you.
Oh, I love you, Nikki.
Told Bob.
I think Nikki loves Gaetano too, so.
Maybe. But there are too many to be just
We're sorry you have to deal with so many idiots, Nikki.
Stories about people who have died and
Hey, I am Joan. Welcome to the stream. Why do these guys look like Walt Disney? It's because back in the 60s, men were
people
classy.
always so tired in the daytime.
And I feel
Why
like
can't they stand the
Walt
sunlight?
Disney had to stop. One of them had to steal the look from the other. Like they looked far too similar between Vincent Price and Walt Disney for it to be a coincidence.
I feel like it's got to be Walt Disney was ripping off Vincent Price then,
Why
right?
not? He ripped everything else off. I almost went on a really bad rant right there.
Yeah, we gotta be careful about trolling Disney on YouTube because they love to shut shit down.
Actually, I was always told that if you were ever make a porn video and you wanted to make sure it never went online, play Disney music in the background because Disney will shut that shit down right away.
Yeah. So we gotta be nice to the mouse on the channel,
All hail our Lord and Savior Mickey Mouse.
even if regardless how we might feel as Floridians.
And now we switch you to the state capitol, where His Excellency.
Oh shit! I am Joan must be
is
Johnny.
speaking from the executive
Eastwood.
mansion.
Unless you're hanging out at someone else's house that I am Joan is Eastwood or is a friend of Eastwood.
Declared this state to be a disaster area.
Cheers.
Public health is dependent on.
Okay, so we should talk about this movie a little bit. Luckily, it's been a nice slow burn to let us kind of talk about some stuff while we're getting
Yes,
here.
yes, we've been just.
Can you summarize the plot up to this point?
Yes. So there was some disease that came into play. They have no idea what it is or anything like that, and they were trying to find a cure for it, and no one could figure out what the hell was going on or anything like that. And so apparently, it has 3 levels of side effect. You either have people who are completely immune, people who just straight up die, or people who become some form of zombified vampiric being.
Okay.
Mommy, where are you?
Oh, and part of it is you go blind as you're going through all this.
Oh, yeah. And so his daughter has it, but not his wife, right? That's
His wife has the early stages of it, and they're in denial about it
okay.
because the worst patient a doctor will ever have is himself, and the second worst patient is his family.
Sure.
Just let her lie there.
Well, this way she has.
So
a
when you
chance.
get COVID, Nikki's gonna
If
be
you call
like
a doctor, he'll report you.
useless.
No, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Dude, I lost my voice for 3 days, and Nikki just started coming over and threw like 30 things of medication at me. Like, she goes, okay, here's some Vicks spray, here's some cough drops, here's some this.
I wasn't sure if you were talking how much medication she can dole out that's legal.
Be so sure she...
Blindness is
Nikki has not given me anything illegal substance-wise that she got illegally obtained from her hospital.
That she illegally acquired from St. Mary's Hospital. That did not happen.
Now
No,
remember that.
St. Mary's has not produced any illegal substances towards me.
Take this shit. You be all right.
I've got Vincent Cortman up on the way to the...
Oh, Maker's just snapping right behind us.
No one is to come into this house. Now remember that.
I do like the colorized version of this, though. Quite a bit.
Yeah, for the most part, there are some scenes that suffer because of it, and there are other scenes that are better because of it.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, I think it's pretty good compared to some of the other ones we've seen. Can you do this American accent from this? Can you do like a Vincent Price?
I mean, if we want to talk to extremely dignified manner, I can do that for a little while. It's hard to maintain without slipping into a little bit of a elegant British aristocracy, but I can do it for a little while.
Yeah, I feel like elegant American is just British a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's hard to keep that line between snooty and work on the Death Star.
Yeah.
It's a very fine line between being snooty and working on the Death Star accent-wise. It's either because apparently in space everyone British is evil.
Of course.
It's me, Ben.
So what's I Am Jones' name?
That's Eastwood.
Eastwood. Okay.
You met Eastwood.
Yes.
Ben, what's the matter?
Hello. So, do we show really bad movies? Sometimes on this channel.
Yes, if you want to go back and watch our Halloween special, we did Vampire Hookers with House on Haunted Hill.
I'm out of my mind.
Yes.
A horrible movie and a great movie all in the same night.
Yes. Vampire Hookers was amazing.
Ben, look,
For-
you're ill. You
for
are
all
Amazingly
the bad
bad
reasons.
and amazing.
You take care of your life, I'll take care of mine. Now get away from here. You understand? Get away from here!
But yes, I think
Yeah, you'll have to forgive transphobia, homophobia, and a little bit of racism.
Yeah,
in Vampire Hookers.
Anti-Asian racism in there.
I feel like there was also a bunch of just overtly like pervertedness from what was that fat guy? The fat guy that was like,
I forgot what his name was, but yeah,
but you
he
know
was
exactly
amazing.
what I'm talking about, yeah.
Yeah, he was my favorite part of that whole movie. We were like joking about how they're gonna have a scene where like he's like jerking it watching the vampire hookers go at it, and then they actually showed a scene where he's jerking it.
yeah. They did not show anything, but it was like,
how the fuck could they put this in this movie?
yeah. And there was a whole 20 minutes of it devoted to the vampire orgy of like.
Oh yeah, the whole movie was to get to the moment where there was the vampire orgy, and then when they got there, it was kind of like only one of the actors seemed to be into it, one of the female actors. So like 3 of the 4 actors seemed like they didn't even want to be there. It was just a terrible
Well, I was
movie.
gonna say, but it was also the halfway point in the movie because there was like half the movie after that, but all the buildup was to that.
If you're looking for anybody but me,
Nikki pointed out Night of the Killer Shrews. That's also on YouTube and also amazingly terrible.
Yes.
A very good time.
Yes.
We do need to do Manos again on the channel because that's a very famous bad movie because
Yes.
MS3TK did it.
Before we do it, though, I feel like we need to make a
MST.
drinking game for it.
we'll
Oh, is there a
find
drinking game?
No, we need to make one if there's
Yes.
not.
Right now, I need it.
He kind of reminds
the
me of
only
Brando
one
a little
who
bit.
wasn't afraid to come here today.
Between
Yes.
the glasses
Oh my
and the
god, yeah,
mustache.
he totally looks like Brando.
Yeah, that's a taller Brando.
Everybody in the
That's
world
like that's Brando in like
finds the answer.
18 years.
When Brando grows up.
I don't deny
Yeah.
there's some strange
Even though Brando's like older than us.
evolutionary
I was gonna say.
process going on.
If you're watching this, Brando.
Pavo, thank you, Amy and Nikki.
Pavo, that was what his name was. Oh my god.
You and I are working
Max
today
Pavo watch.
is evidence of that.
Pavo watch? God.
Pavo.
But honestly, I don't blame Pavo. He just wanted to be a vampire like everybody else.
I know, all the cool kids were doing it.
All the cool kids were doing it.
God, it was like our high school days all over again.
absolutely can get away with murder as long as the cool kids are doing it.
All right, let's roll.
So yeah, I forgot. This movie's interesting how they laid it out, because we get a pretty good chunk of time where we get to just see everyday life with Vincent Price in the apocalypse, and it's kind of not boring, but like it's repetitive for him. It's interesting to us because it's the first time we're seeing it, but it's repetitive for him. And then we get this big chunk of the movie, which is the backstory with his wife and his daughter and everything.
Right. So we see how we got to where we started the movie.
Yeah.
When?
I called a doctor. I had to.
I told you not to call anyone.
Mom, she was blind. She couldn't see. She kept reaching out her hands, groping for me. And then, all of a sudden, she was gone.
She still has great eyebrows. She's mourning.
Tried to stop
What
them.
was that?
They took her.
She still has great eyebrows.
Yes.
Out there. Was that it? Was it?
A little shove. I feel like, oh my god. Yeah, so what's so great about this movie is the acting.
Yes.
Because she is just killing it, and Vincent Price kills everything he's in.
Get back, folks.
I was gonna say, because like two of our hallmark actors for like all of SCUM Movie Night have been Vincent Price and Boris Karloff.
Oh, I was gonna say Basil Rathbone too.
Or no, I'm sorry, Bela Lugosi.
And Bela Lugosi. Those are the four.
Yeah, that's our Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
In fact, future T-shirt idea. I'm gonna work on it when I get home. I'm gonna make Mount Rushmore with Vincent Price, Boris Karloff, and we're gonna sell that as a T-shirt.
Yes, 6,000 by 6,000 pixels is what I need.
I'll do it. But anyways,
300 DPI.
But like the big difference is that we see so much variety every time we see Vincent Price on screen. Like he's completely different character every time he shows up.
Yeah.
But then we go and watch Bela Lugosi, and he's just Dracula in every single movie. Like it's like he forgot how to be Dracula.
Well, it's clear that he's Dracula. He was born to be Dracula.
Yes, Nikki, that is the same pit that he threw the body in earlier.
But did he throw the body in
you don't belong
present
in here. Get
day? And that we're in the past right now, right?
Yes.
I said get out. I want my daughter. Mister, a lot of daughters are in there, including my own.
Oh, I remember that line. How hard that hurts.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that line.
Oh god, yeah. I remember when we watched this the first time. This is where I was like hooked.
Right.
Because up until this, it's been a slow burn. It's been slowly building up to.
Well, I feel like that's how most of the movies worked. Is they either started off very fast paced, very like get your attention very like DOA had the most intriguing first 12 seconds of a movie where
Oh my god, it was
walked
amazing.
into police stations like I'd like to report a murder, who's mine.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the movie just went downhill from there.
Yeah.
But then this movie was like slow burn, slow burn, slow burn, slow burn, got you by the hook.
Yeah. No, at this point in the movie, it's just like, oh god, the suffering.
Yeah. Also, fun fact: if you're supposed to, if you were to apply the same coloration technique on the old black and white Addams Family show and movies, their wallpaper is pink.
Really?
Yeah, because that showed up as the best gray on film.
Wow. Oh god, I'm so glad to have you. Normally, when we're doing the SCUM Movie Night stuff, it's I have to ask Ryan questions through the chat. But I have the gift of having you here to have real time, letting me know what's going on.
Real time lore dumps with Ryan Chelf.
Yes.
Just gonna start a whole podcast series where I just go ahead and just do lore dumps of everything.
Oh my god! I mean, the amount of info you know is crazy.
I promise. I won't let them put you there.
One day I might go on Jeopardy. One day.
Okay, so he's not going to let his wife get put into the pit, the fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck. The Haunted Mansion in Disney?
Yeah. So the Haunted Mansion Disney, if you like, so they use a technique called the Pepper's Ghost Mirror is I think the name of the technique. But but basically what it is that the ghost effect that you see, like especially in the ballroom scene where you see all those ghosts dancing and everything.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's a mirror. It's everything. Like they have the animatronics doing the dancing and everything like that, but the image of it is like they're backlit and they're lit properly so that the reflection of them is all you see. And so when it hits that piece of glass, it looks like they're actually ghostly dancing and everything like that. But I do know what Nikki's talking about, where they have all the like very odd coloration and everything like that to get the right effects. The same way like how in Psycho they use chocolate syrup for the blood in the shower scene.
Yeah.
And like other ones would use and like the same way when you see ads for like pancakes, the syrup is actually motor oil.
Right, of course.
Or they put shoe polish on rotisserie chicken when they're advertising it on ads and stuff like that.
I was actually talking to Ubaldo about this at the library, and he mentioned that like when someone takes a bite out of something in like a commercial, like a hamburger or whatever, that they have to be very careful where to bite because there's so many like toothpicks holding the bun in perfect place and everything.
Yes, and then not only that, but if you, they also put a lot of the makeup sponge wedges in between so you have that layer separation, so it actually looks a much taller than it is.
Yeah, so you get the kind of the layered effect.
Yeah,
I should do that on my cocktails.
I thought you were just gonna say cock.
I love saying cock. The reason the ghosts look low and it looks like you're seeing them from above the ballroom is because the ghost animatronics are below you.
Yes, and then in a similar vein to that, John, they do Jello with glue on top of it anytime they do cereal, and then they pour the cereal into the glue so it like kind of floats there better and doesn't look like you're actually pouring it into the liquid.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know way too many of those.
Okay, so I don't remember this part of the movie. What's going on? He's having...
I vaguely remember portions of this. Again, we drank heavily last time we were watching
speaking
this.
of which, I'm going to go a little bit
Yeah,
more.
let's get you a top off. I still got a little bit here. Nursing in. Or
Who is
I
it?
have a lot more in my horn than I thought I did. Yes, advertising is dumb as fuck.
Who's there?
Oh God, it's his wife that he didn't burn. Something about the way Daddy Price's eyebrows are just so expressive. Yes, he buried his wife instead of burning her.
Yes. God, he is such a good actor. Ooh, that's another fun fact I have. So, you know how, like, naturally, whenever we see something that's just, like, slightly off of being human, it freaks us the fuck out. Like, if you go back and watch Polar Express,
right?
Like, you see all the humans.
Yeah. Uncanny Valley is the phrase.
So, I actually found out what the evolutionary trait that caused that is.
What is that?
So, when we were evolving as, what's the scientific terms for what we are?
Apes?
No, Homo erectus and like all that stuff.
Homo sapiens.
Yes, Homo sapiens. So when we were evolving as part of that, there were actually 10 different groups that evolved from Homo erectus. And basically all Homo erectus evolved from the stage right before Homo erectus.
Okay.
Homo erectus killed off every single one of them because they were all just slightly different than us. And so that's where that uncanny valley, like fear comes from, is that natural predisposition to anything that's just slightly off from us.
We're like, oh, that's gotta die.
Yep, it's like, nope. Kill it with fire.
Yep.
How is it he sleeps in his suits and his suits still look better than mine does? And mine's been sitting in the closet since I got it back from the dry cleaner.
Right. Well, and Amy pointed out her eyebrows are still good even though she's dead. And that's because we care about her. And if we've learned anything from Scum Movie Night, it's that eyebrow quality is the guidepost to know about the worth of a woman.
Right. So, ladies, remember, if you want to be cared about, arch those eyebrows.
Oof.
I'm gonna get cancel Ryan Shelf hashtag.
Try destroying my car. His wits are getting dull.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Yeah, I just saw that where you did.
Oh, look at all these cars. I bet Amy is creaming her jeans right now.
There was a time when I shopped for a
Amy,
car.
I'm creaming my jeans.
Yeah, she loves the vintage cars.
For a hearse. The station wagon will have
I was gonna say I was in the market for a 1970s or 80s pickup truck right this coming summer.
Really? What do those go for?
I actually found a guy that was willing to sell me a 1978 F-150 for like 12 grand.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it was in great condition, but I don't know if I'll do it.
What's stopping you? The 12 grand?
The maintenance that'll be required.
Okay.
Because I don't want to have a vehicle that I'll have to sit there and commit to like 3 weeks of it in the garage.
Do you know Brendan Gringus and Jesse?
Yes, I do know them.
So they
actually, it was funny because Nikki and I were driving, and I saw Brandon drive by in his truck the other day. And I go, "Oh, I like that truck," and then I saw quality on the side. I was like, "Oh shit, that's Brandon!"
Yeah.
And then Nikki just looks at me like, "The fuck?"
Yeah. Well, those guys both have trucks from like I want to say the 60s.
Yeah, they have beautiful trucks.
And they're mechanics, so they're. You might be able to talk to them about like. If something like that could come across there.
Well, I was going to talk to Brandon about doing reupholstering my bench and doing because he does this beautiful pinstriping work and stitch work and everything like that. So I was going to talk to him about doing a reupholstery on a bench when I finally do get a classic truck like that.
Yeah. He's incredible.
But I would want to do the wood paneling in that truck bed myself.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But I would cheat and do a heavy resin pour over it to protect it. So that way I don't have all the scrapes in the wood and have to replace the wood every like year and a half.
Where are you?
Oh, I forgot. So this is the part of the movie where he's looking for the dog, right?
Yes. Whereas in Will Smith's, he started off with the dog.
Where are you, pal? Come here.
It's an interesting fact, Annie, about the study done on eyebrows and lying.
What was the interesting fact?
The interesting fact is that they did they can predict eyebrows or lying off of eyebrows.
Sorry, you started that up as if you were going to say an interesting fact based.
No, I was. Annie already stated it.
Okeechobee behind the Taco Bell? Where's the Taco Bell? Oh,
a 1970 Galaxy 500.
Nice.
Fully restored. Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, your boy Kevin. Yeah, that's right across from like that's right over by the Arby's and across from the UFO I used to work at.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where that garage is.
Oh. Is the UFIT you used to work at right there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Military.
That would.
I don't know how I didn't realize that.
It's okay. I wish I didn't realize it.
Someone else.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So is Meg still there?
But where are they? Where are they hiding?
Meg left, Jess left. I took like half the staff with me.
Oh, I forgot Jess was there too. That's where like all the ladies came from.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I took half of them with me when I left.
Talk about.
No, legitimately, I left. 2 weeks later, Meg left, and 3 weeks later, Jess left.
That's my son. Right there.
If somebody can
It's my child, everybody. Behold.
answer me.
The dalliance seed lives on with the longer beard. Yeah.
This is KOKW calling. KOKW calling.
Glory
Answer
hole?
me.
Question mark? Oh, it's the pupper.
Oh, the pupper. I was gonna say, I think that's one of my least favorite aspects of the Will Smith I Am Legend was the dog storyline.
I don't remember it. I saw the movie when it came out, but...
It's probably for the best. He had to kill the dog at the end.
Oof.
Yeah, the dog got bit by one of the vampire zombies and started like contracting it, and he was going to turn into a zombie dog.
So, I don't know if we really ever talked about this on the channel. I'm going to look it up real quick.
Why look it up when I might have the answer already in my head?
No, I'm looking up I'm just curious about the state of it before I say anything.
Going to be all right.
Because I don't want to get myself in trouble.
PETA literally looks for reasons to be pissed off. Like, you should see that PETA every time a new Pokemon game comes out. It's the best. They started making their own versions of the Pokemon games where the Pokemon just look beat the fuck up, and it was hilarious.
You're gonna feel better.
All right. I think I'm going to opt out of saying what I was going to say based off of what I'm seeing here.
Can't anymore. You're stuck with it. What were you going to say?
No, just that my ex-girlfriend used to run a YouTube channel that was about horror movies.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. It was her and another guy, and they did. And there's he's still going with it.
You know they're out there, don't you?
And yeah, but I don't want to say anything positive or negative about it. Just
Right.
Yeah.
For amicability.
Yes. Chocolate Ice 20. What's up?
How you doing, Chocolate Ice?
Nobody's gonna hurt you.
Milo movie where they threw a dog and a cat off a cliff. What? I don't know. You know what she's talking about?
Was that The Great Adventure?
You're going to get better.
Or
We're gonna have lots of happy times together.
shit, I don't remember.
You'll see, everything's gonna be
I
fine.
apologize. My memory is shot because I drink a lot. What a puppy.
God damn it! I was trying to. There's a fucking fly. I've never had a fly in my house.
I know.
before.
I think the fly flew in with my undead soul.
Yes.
Think 80s. Yeah, I'm picturing this movie where it's like a golden retriever, another dog, and a cat who are journeying across country to find their owners again or some shit like that. Annie, is that the movie you're talking about? I don't know why I'm staring at it as if she's going to type immediately.
Right. Yeah.
Forgot there's delay.
Oh, so he's
Okay,
looking.
not that one.
He's looking at the blood of the dog right now and sees that it has the disease, right?
Yes, so he's thinking he can get the cure from it. Or he's going mad. One of the two. Yes, Nikki, homeward bound.
What's the use?
Glad Nikki can decipher my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm glad she's here to unscramble the enigma. Oh, the poor dog. I remember being so heartbroken the first time I saw that because it's like, it is the saddest shit. Anyways, the point of why I brought up my ex-girlfriend is to say that she had this pet peeve about animals dying in horror movies because it's like, it's a cheap move that horror movie makers can always pull off where it's like
it automatically hits the heartstrings.
Yeah, it's like, but it doesn't, it's different than when you kill off a main character.
Right, because when you kill a person, nobody gives a shit. It's like, okay, that person probably had it coming.
Right,
When you
right.
kill a dog, it's like, no, the dog never deserves it. Like, even it could be
That
the
dog
worst
didn't
dog on the
deserve
face
it.
of the planet, and
Yeah.
it still wouldn't deserve it.
Yeah, and so so that was like always her thing on the channel was like, if the dog dies, like she doesn't give a fuck. She hates that movie.
Well, I was gonna say I remember there was a website out there that literally rates every movie based on whether or not the dog in the movie dies.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes, so literally it goes, dog in the movie, dog is pretty, dog is cute, dog lives through the whole movie, 5 out of 5. Dog dies 30 minutes into it, 1 out of 5.
That's hilarious. Yeah, so I wonder if she's like an admin for that site because that was her crusade. Was
Wait,
Yeah, like Marley and Me was the worst rated one.
oh god.
wait.
Yes, this is from 1964. Chocolate Ice.
Are we waiting for hysterics?
You know that they can't come out until sundown. Do you want to come with me or do you want to face them?
I forgot about this subplot. He finds a new.
How did you forget about her? She had halfway
Hairspray.
arched her eyebrows.
I am not the director of this movie. I'm a mere watcher. But yes, yeah, she's got a lot of hairspray and eyebrows, so she's my type.
Yeah, she was very hysterical there, Nikki. Hysterical drink.
Yes, yeah. Cheers to misogyny, overreacting. Never gets old. I need to program it so sometimes it says overreacting or hysteria, some of the things that Nikki always posts.
Yes.
Try to remember to do it tonight, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next week.
I was gonna say there's a lot of bourbon that's already been consumed.
Yes. Yeah.
And I started that revelry before I came here because I had some time to go.
Yeah, well.
You feeling better?
Yes,
Would you like a cup of coffee?
thank you.
Answer is always yes to that question.
Always.
Yeah.
I mean, if Daddy Price asks you any question, the answer is always yes.
Yes.
Would you like to kill a bunch of hobos with me?
You seem very
Yes.
well organized
Yes.
here.
Oh, I think Nikki's face palming that I started drinking at Revelry
My
was
name
at
is
her.
Ruth Collins.
I love when she says sir. Even to women.
I was
Sorry,
married.
babe.
Like when Nikki was fucked up and she would say to like Lindsay, she'd be
I
like,
lost
sir.
my husband.
Yes. That's her catchphrase.
Amazing.
That's her stop and reevaluate their life.
Yes. That whenever she says sir to me, I'm like, I need to stop and think about what I'm doing right now. Because I am off track.
Yes. Nikki is big bomb energy.
Look at her I was going to say eyebrows, but her cheekbones are fucking sharp. You could cut diamonds with those motherfuckers.
I was gonna say my favorite comment I've ever heard about cheekbones was this, like you could cut your hand slapping those. That was from
I'm trying not to laugh.
no, that was an Irene Adler line from the BBC Sherlock.
Oh, was it? Oh
Yeah,
my god.
about Benedict Cumberbatch.
Stop, please. Stop it, please. You're making me sick.
Why do you turn
Please.
away? Why do you turn away?
I know that's enough garlic for one meal.
You are infected.
No.
Annie, she at the very least wore her clothes. I don't know if she applied the makeup or not.
You think I'm one of them.
You will be.
You've made up your mind just because I...
You can't change the facts by talking.
Facts. What facts? That I got sick? I've had a sensitive stomach all my life. I saw my husband killed, torn to pieces right in front of our house. I've been wandering ever since. Hiding at night, not eating more than scraps. Sick with mourning, sick with fear, unable to sleep. Then you shout at me. You chased me across a field, hit me, dragged me to this house.
Kinky.
And to top it all, when I get sick because you shove a piece of reeking garlic in my face, you tell me I'm infected.
She's making it like a big deal that he thinks she might be infected when literally everybody on the planet died. You know, like.
At least let me give you a blood test.
Don't touch me.
That's me before I have sex with any woman in Lake Worth. Please let me give you a blood test.
It's for my safety, not yours.
Yes. It's for all of our safety. Don't want to be spreading the
I
fucking...
like the dog better than her. The dog had better eyebrows.
You must be hungry.
Kyle knows what's up.
Yep.
Yeah, she's kind of an interesting character in this movie because up till now, all the characters to me have been
Dead.
somewhat, well, monofaceted, where it's like, we get who Vincent Price is. He's sort of the he's a scientist, but he's like forlorn and all of that. And then his wife is honest and good and great and daughter.
Well, I was going to say, but
pure.
even then we had the duality of Vincent before and Vincent after.
Yes, we get Vincent when he was skeptical and like, I don't think this is a big deal disease, all the way to,
Right, so
you know.
Us in March versus us in July.
Yes, yeah, before COVID.
Anybody could be.
But she's
frightened
interesting
anymore.
because she's sort of like,
I
she's
protect myself.
hard to know
Because they
morally
throw
how to feel about her.
Well, so
Individually,
she
they're-
reminded me of a conversation you and I had where like it's one of those things where if you accuse a drug addict of being on drugs, then someone who is a drug addict that is not on drugs is going to be like, I'm sorry, what am I doing that makes you think that? Because I don't want you to believe that I've fallen back on that ways.
my friend.
But someone who is a drug
He
addict that
was like
actually
a kid
is on
once.
drugs will come
I
up with
could
all these
find you,
pre-rehearsed answers
But
to
you said
how they
he was your
aren't on
friend.
drugs.
Yes, and they'll be
When I find
offended
him, I'll
is
drive
the
Right.
critical thing.
Right. They'll act offended. Like, why would you ever accuse me of that? You know, I
Like,
got better.
how dare you say that? Yeah.
Right. And so that kind of harkens back to that conversation with how she just was when he asked her, like when he goes, oh, well, you have the aversion to garlic. It's like, no, I'm allergic to garlic because I have a sensitive stomach. It's like,
Right. No, I totally agree.
Or perhaps it's because a long time ago when
I mean, every so often there is that chance, like you do have people that are allergic to garlic, such as one of our good friends, Charnel, is allergic to garlic.
Oh, that's true. Charnel is actually allergic to garlic.
Right, which is hilarious because she's a vampire in every other concept.
Yes, she is a vampire, especially when it comes to feeding off the blood of whores.
She is quite the biter. Literally, the drunker Charnel gets, the more she bites. And I have a couple of scars to prove it.
You know who bit me recently was
But I'm immune.
Anna from
Anna
Smoke
also
In.
bites. Yeah.
Yeah, she bit the shit out of my stomach the other day.
She's also slightly. Why was she near your stomach?
Long story, but she bit my stomach.
What will you do?
No judgment.
If I am infected, cure me?
No, see you in the 80s. We are not locked down. Most of the world has reopened with some slight caveats.
It's incurable.
Or at least here in America. I don't know about. I know because the UK, France, Germany, they've all re-locked down.
Well, he was asking if we specifically over here are.
No, we are not.
Yeah, we're also Florida, so we don't give a shit about anything.
But you don't.
Florida is like the Australia of USA, where like something eventually is going to kill you here, and whether or not it's the people or the animals or Florida itself, we're not sure.
I may have told this story before on SCUM Movie Night, but one of my first girlfriends up in New York.
First mistake.
Yeah, and I was up visiting her, and she was like, "Hey, why don't we go for a walk?" And I was like, "Okay, where are we going to go for a walk?" And she was like, "We'll just go out the back into the woods." And I was like, we can't go into the woods. There's like apex predators. There's gotta, because Florida has crocodiles, wolves, bears, snakes, poisonous spiders,
bobcats,
homeless people,
drug addicts,
crocodiles,
half my ex-girlfriends.
Yeah, it's like literally Florida is so fucking dangerous to step outside your door that I was blown away that she would just walk in the woods. But she's like, no, it's safe.
Yeah. Fun fact, do you know the one animal the United States has that's less deadly than its Australian counterpart?
No, what would that be?
The possum.
Would the Australian possum is deadly?
No, the Australian possum is cute as fuck.
Oh, ours is more dangerous.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We have great white sharks.
Yeah, they have venomous crabs.
Venomous crabs?
Yeah.
Fuck.
They also have tarantulas with wings.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
It's like when you see a cockroach versus when you see a palmetto bug. It's like, oh, that's nothing. The second it sprouts wings, fuck, God's not even helping us on this one.
Yeah.
I want all of it. Why are you here?
I want all of it too.
Find out if you know any more than we do. You know far less.
Fucking coyotes, yeah, that's true too.
Oh, they're easy to fool. All you have to do is paint a tunnel on the wall. They'll run right through it.
Anyways, the point is, everything you see in the 80s that Florida's already lost.
Yeah, no, we're fucked.
COVID is, yeah.
Also, do you know what other country acts like us? Poland.
Really?
Poland has a lot of batshit crazy people.
Yeah, Poland kind of gets a bad rep among my European friends.
Yeah.
Because I was so terrified of what I'd heard about you. You're a legend in the city. Moving by
I was going to say, if you've not ever ridden a crocodile or a gator, I'm sorry. If you've not ridden a gator, you're not a true Floridian.
Destroyed were still alive. Many of them were loved ones of the people in my group.
Yes, exactly, Annie. That's the point.
Is there any way you can get out of here?
What do you mean?
They're coming after you tonight.
Meth happened to her teeth, Nikki.
To prevent you from resisting them. I'm supposed to keep you here until they come.
Oh, such a cute little pistol.
To kill me.
Yes.
Your new society sounds charming.
I love that line.
Any society is never charming or gentle.
And you pretended to be shocked at my violence. Well, what are you waiting for? Why don't you go on and use it? Get it over with. Use it. Get it over with.
Can't do it.
Oh shit, you straight up live in Nottingham. Is Sherwood Forest nearby, or am I just being an asshole now?
Yeah, parts of America are locked down. Like California re-locked down, or at least LA did, and a couple of
parts
places.
of New York are also locked
Yes,
down.
yeah. So it's sort of based off of like what our hospital capacity is at.
Sherwood Forest is half an hour away from him. Perfect. I wasn't being an asshole.
I wish Jackie was here because Jackie lived in the UK, and I feel like she lived nearby. So Jackie, for those of you who don't know, was in Vulture Culture at one point.
I was gonna say we're missing Jackie and Justine. Jackie and Justine are two of our like. We're missing our J women.
Yeah, the J women. We need them. The J goth women.
Yes.
Yes, and it's almost funny because the acting of like the wife and Vincent Price and everybody else in the movie's been great. Even the kind of like the guy who's a dickhead in the middle, but she's terrible.
Yeah.
But we're sort of supposed to hate her, so right.
Well, again, I think
maybe not hate her, but
I think some of the quote unquote horrible acting we see is acting that's designed for a stage where you have those big over dramatic exaggeration motions and everything 100%. Like that. Whereas on the small screen it doesn't translate as well because it's like, oh no, it's like, whereas like you can just do subtle motions and then you get the same effect across, whereas like you don't have to enunciate for the back row the same way as like you do
yeah.
Sorry, that's one of my favorite Robin Williams stand-up. Do you know this bit?
No, I don't.
So one of his shows, he was performing in this ginormous auditorium, and the sound went out.
What?
So without missing a beat, he starts just like going in super guttural, announcing from his stomach and everything like that. And he speaks to the back row. Everyone hears him and everything. The second the sound comes back on, he goes and makes a comment on it. And he goes, and he's like signing, I apologize for the sound issues. And he goes, finally, all those years of Juilliard paid off. I was speaking to the back row, enunciating from the diaphragm. And he just goes on this whole bit about it. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Robin Williams was a treasure.
Oh, I wanted to be Robin Williams when I grew up. And then I realized the part of being Robin Williams meant you never grew up.
Yeah.
So, hence this.
Do you know what this means?
So I'm just hairy and large and a child at heart.
We won't be alone. We'll never be alone again.
You are sure?
She's showing her reflection, Nikki.
Wait.
Yes. AKA a picture of a dick.
Is my dick in a box?
But yeah, so I don't know if they skirted over the different blood types here, but you can't just give anybody your blood, right?
Right. So, Nikki, you're going to yell at me for this because I can't remember. O positive and O negative are technically the O negative, I believe, is the universal
donor. You give it to anybody.
Yeah, you can give it to anyone but O positive, you can just give to anybody who's positive. A B positive can take from anyone, regardless of it's positive or negative or what letter it is. And then B's can only take from B's and O's. A's can only take from A's and O's.
Where are you going?
Get out of here. Tell them you're not a threat to us.
You can't go out there. You wouldn't get 10 feet.
When they come here, there won't be time for questions and answers. They'll come to kill.
Univerd?
For God's sake, Robert, let me go.
I think that's just universal.
Robert, please.
Well, I know I'll personally.
Adam, you're an O negative? Oh my God. What are you? A positive?
O positive.
O positive. Interesting.
Tomorrow will be all
So I like to give a lot, but I'm happy about it.
Robert, no.
Oh, I forgot. One of the vampires. Is that the old guy from the middle of the movie?
I don't remember. No, that's not Brando.
No, not that one. The other one. The guy was hanging around his wife.
Yeah, I was gonna say Adam and I are screwed if we ever need blood because we're always the people that they're asking for blood from.
It will. I've already checked it under the microscope. Wait, I'll show you.
Is she giving you like David Bowie from Labyrinth vibes?
I wasn't seeing enough of a bulge in the crotch region.
But yeah,
I am 90% like, and I've said this before. David Bowie in Labyrinth is responsible for the sexual awakening of like 98% of our generation.
Yes.
Ruth?
Like they're wondering why there's so many gays nowadays is because of David Bowie in Labyrinth.
It'll prove it to you. Ruth, there's no
I actually use his phrase. There was like
Eric, that's a little low. You might want to up it by at least 10 proof.
There's a quote from David Bowie towards the end of his career where he was like, Turns out after all this time, I'm a closet heterosexual. So I used that one.
I was gonna say, do you know, they were talking about doing a biopic. Do you know who is, like, they were, like, looking at for playing David Bowie in the biopic?
No.
Tilda Swinton.
Who was that?
Did you see Doctor Strange?
No.
I'm gonna kill you, Robert.
Can somebody out there help me with what else Tilda Swinton has been in besides Doctor Strange? Because I know it's one of those faces you'll recognize as soon as you see him, but I can't think of anything else.
I'll just look it up.
Yeah, Google it. That works too. I forgot we have the technology at our hands. Oh yeah, I forgot about this whole militia thing. Oh no, I didn't. Well, I remembered it existed, but I forgot about it.
Oh, her.
Yes.
As him.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Tilda Swinton was not in Game of Thrones as far as I can remember.
Up there!
You might be confusing that with the actress that played Brielle of Tarth.
Yeah, Brianna Tarth.
Who was a badass. And then played Captain Phasma.
Captain Phasma, the most
For all 12
underutilized character.
I was gonna say, like, they kept making this, like, huge play of, like, how we've got this badass female stormtrooper, and he's like, and then she, like, bitched out in every single movie.
Get him! Get him!
You know what we should have on at some point is a round table about how they fucked up the new Star Wars movies.
See, I would actually argue the other side.
Really? Oh, wait. Let's no. We're gonna make this happen. I don't want to argue it now because it will kill the fun.
Yes.
But yeah, I'd love to get like 4 or 5 of us together here to talk about how
Although
we
I
feel.
have had a conversation that, like, and this is one of the most heated things, that Solo from the Star Wars universe, Solo is the worst Star Wars movie, but the best movie in the Star Wars universe.
Got her outside!
What do you mean by that?
So it's the worst Star Wars movie as far as, like, everything that made it Star Wars was what made it shitty. Everything that you take all the Star Wars aspects away from it, and it was a really good movie, good heist movie, like on par with like Ocean's 11 and shit.
Yeah.
So it was a really good movie that had a bunch of Star Wars shoved down its throat.
Yeah. Well, without giving away my feelings too much, I mean, I think that Solo is one of the better movies. And I think it was good in spite of the actor who played Han Solo.
Yeah, I thought he was a little too try-hard.
He did not convince, unlike Donald Glover, who did a great job. But yeah, just overall, the new Star Wars have not been what everybody hoped they would be when Disney acquired it.
Yeah, I still have not seen Wonder Woman 84 yet, Andy, so as soon as I watch that, I will let you know my thoughts on it.
I'm truly uninterested in watching that.
I've heard it's a super confusing mess, and like I love Marvel, I love DC. I want DC to actually have a leg to stand on and not just have to like suffer because it can't live up to the legacy Marvel has started.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that doesn't automatically grant them into that.
Right. Like, and honestly, I think the best DC movie so far has been Shazam, and it's also the one that least amount of people talk about.
I didn't even know that was a movie.
It is so great because they get Zachary Levi, who I knew best from his role as Chuck in the TV show Chuck.
Yeah.
To play Shazam as the hero, and it was an absolutely it was just a really fun movie. Yes, thank you, Eric.
In the church.
Yeah, we got all the movie snobs up in here loving Shazam. I haven't seen it.
So, see you in the 80s. My biggest issue with the modern Star Trek, just because I grew up with Star Trek, live long and prosper all day long. My dad literally, had me sit down and had a debate with me on whether I preferred Star Trek or Star Wars when I was 12 years old. So I literally had to, defend this from as young as I can remember properly. The biggest issue I had with some of the Star Treks was, especially I think it was the second one. The second one was directed by the same guy. It was either the second or the third one was directed by the same guy that did some of the Fast and Furious movies, and you could tell. It was Fast and Furious in space. Now, when J.J. Abrams was in control of it, yes, it was still very gritty and it had like a lot of that like fun campiness from our original Star Trek. But at the same time, it tried to make it more modern, try to make it something that like we could love in our new generation and everything like that. Also, fun fact, in the first Star Trek movie directed by J.J. Abrams, on one of the hull explosions, you can see R2-D2 flying out of the ship. So it was his little love letter to try and get into Star Wars.
And it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Star Trek movies, I haven't seen them that he directed, but everybody says that's basically what got him the job.
Yes. Yeah. I thought the lens flares were a bit much. Zachary Quinto, I think, did a halfway decent job as Spock. I mean, like, obviously Leonard Nimoy will forever be the amazing Spock that he is, but yes, Daddy Price is getting attacked by...
Yeah, back to the movie real quick.
I apologize. We went on one hell of a tangent right there, and...
I apologize.
Yeah, we forgot the...
climax of the movie is happening here.
The Hitler Youth vampires just showed up and attacked Daddy Price in the church.
All of you freaks, mutations.
I love this speech.
Did you forget about him?
No, I remember the ending, but it's just...
You're freaks.
It is still abrupt.
I'm a man. The last man.
On Earth. Roll credits.
Oh, I love that he doesn't actually say on Earth.
Yeah. I think it's bullshit that she actually cares about him, or like they're showing this. Like, there was
That's what I mean.
Foundation for it.
They were afraid of me.
I didn't know.
I like that the title of the movie is actually somewhat true, like that he was the last man in a way of talking about it.
Adam, as soon as I watch it, I may fight you. No, that's...
Oh, I
that
thought
was a
that was
baby
my
crying
cat.
on this. No, Mako's fine.
Okay.
I don't know how there's a zombie baby, but...
My heart. Yes, Price is king. Oh, there we go.
Don't
Okay.
cry. There's nothing to cry about. We're all safe now. All safe.
I'm glad you knew I was worried about my cat.
Yes.
Immediately. Wow. All right, so let's jump on over to the Scum movie ranking
All
here
right,
real
yeah,
quick.
so we had this ranked in our top 10. We had it right under McClintock, which I definitely think McClintock needs to be above it.
Okay.
So that part I'm not questioning at all.
Okay, so the thing here is I asked Ryan, what would you change about the Scum movie ranking? So these are all the movies we've seen so far for everybody who hasn't been following with the channel.
Now,
So you're saying McClintock needs to go up?
No, well, yes.
Wait, it's above The Last Man on Earth.
Right. Well, so McClintock holds a special place in my heart because when I was young, like literally every Saturday morning from when I was 6 years old, I was dropped off at my grandparents' house. Me and my grandpa would work in the garage and then retire for lunch, where grandma made us grilled cheese with jelly on it, and then we watched John Wayne movies.
Right.
Like that was how I spent my childhood. In fact, on when I was 12 on one cold December, that was when I had my first glass of whiskey. Was on a Saturday morning with my grandpa. He thought it was too cold for me to drink chocolate milk with him, and so he poured me a glass of whiskey with him while we were sitting there working on a bookshelf.
I love how you tell stories on one cold Saturday in December.
Yeah, so that was his whole excuse for giving me my first glass of whiskey was, it's too cold out here for you to pour yourself a glass of chocolate milk, because, and I still love chocolate milk to this day, but he goes, you need a real man's drink. Don't tell your grandma and or your mother. And he poured me a glass of Jack that he kept a bottle hidden in his garage for years. I think he might still have a bottle out there that he just hasn't touched in a while. But like he would pour me a glass of Jack, and then like every Saturday after that, 12-year-old Ryan was drinking bourbon.
I love that so much.
So
anyway, so back to the
rating.
Yes,
grilled cheese with jelly. If you've never tried it, put some strawberry or grape jelly on your grilled cheese while you're grilling it, like inside the sandwich. You got to be a little careful because the jelly gets really hot and can burn you quickly. But besides that, it is so good. Like I grew up on it. I swear by it.
Also, while you're thinking about this, I just want to say, like, we've seen this movie, but the first time I watched this movie, I was so sad.
Yes, well, so that's the thing. So it had less impact on me this time around.
Oh, definitely.
And I don't know if it's because me and you are sitting here shitting around and stuff like that and drinking, or if it's because of the fact that when we watched it the first time, thank you, Hail to the Prince. Thank you for the tip.
Oh, Hail to the Prince. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
But the first time we watched it, we were very much in like the beginning stages of quarantine. We were very much at the like stage where like we had no idea what was going on with it or anything like that. And
we all related to it so heavily.
Like we all felt that isolation. We all felt all of that stuff going on and everything. And so I feel like because we were so much more connected back then, that's why we all had that very visceral reaction to it. Whereas tonight, still a great movie, still a very enjoyable. I would definitely keep it in the top 10, but I don't know. I didn't have the same reaction to it as I did last time. I would still keep it above Suddenly.
Really? I was going to say, I feel like it's fallen below Suddenly for me.
Well, I think the biggest thing we had with Suddenly was the fact that we are so used to seeing Sinatra as a good guy that to see him take a turn as a bad guy threw us all off.
Yes, but the thing that I can say about Suddenly is to play devil's advocate.
AKA, please do.
AKA my advocate.
What was that movie where the devil actually had a lawyer? I think Al Pacino was the devil.
Oh, yeah.
It was like Little Nicky?
No, that's the Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. It's a great movie.
Thank you, Scott.
It's called Devil's Advocate. That's what it's called.
Is it really called Devil's Advocate?
Yeah.
Thank you for the tip, Scott.
Oh, thank you, Scott. And by the way, Hail to the Prince has to be Eric, I believe. So thank you very much, Eric. Here would be my argument for Suddenly being above Last Man on Earth, is Last Man on Earth has some flaw to it, whereas Suddenly is more or less perfect. You know what I'm saying? And we saw Last Man on Earth was one of the first Scum movies. Like, we really... that was earlier probably in the first 20 movies we watched or so.
Yeah, it was definitely in like one of the first month and a half.
Yeah.
And we were doing 2 movies a night back then.
Yeah, so we saw a lot of movies back then, and I think Suddenly might count. I think Last Man on Earth was still better than Horror Express, but not by a lot.
Yes, definitely. We're still above Horror Express, but I would still... I don't know. It's
right,
tough because Suddenly was still a great movie and everything like that. But I think the fact that the entire time we're sitting there trying to root for a guy who's trying to assassinate the president.
Right.
And like at the end of the day, as great as it is, and as much as I love, See You in the 80s is Scott. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate that.
So now we know how to actually refer to you instead of saying see you in the 80s.
I'll say Scott from now on, if you want.
Yes. Or if you want to see you in the 80s.
Either way is good.
We call people by the names they want to be called.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyways, so the big issue with that is that ultimately Suddenly has you rooting for Frank Sinatra trying to kill the president, which in real world is kind of hilarious because he was friends with JFK and the mob thing and everything like that. And this was actually 2 years before the JFK assassination?
Yeah, it was something creepy like beforehand.
Creepily close.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so my question to you is, this is your chance to look at the Scum movie ranking of all the movies we've watched on the channel, and what would you change? So you don't seem convinced about my argument on Suddenly, which is perfectly fine. What do you think I've gotten wrong? Because a lot of people who watch the channel in private tell me they don't like something I ranked or something like that. Like I should have ranked something different. So I always feel like you should have the chance to make your case.
So my personal feelings is that all of the Sherlock Holmes need to go up like 1 or 2 steps from where they currently are. Like all across the board. Like obviously Terror by Night is on top, so we're not moving that.
Okay.
But like to have Tarzan and the Green Goddess and everything, I'm sorry, I don't know why I read Tarzan.
No, that is there.
I know, but I don't know why I read that as opposed to Sherlock Holmes right below it. But no, I feel like Sherlock Holmes, and I don't know if that's just because I love the character of Sherlock Holmes so much,
right,
to the point where like it's one of my favorite literary icons, that I feel like he should have a higher ranking every time.
Yeah.
or what, but I always feel like I want to put Sherlock one spot higher than you have him or something.
Okay, so I think that Horror Express could actually go below Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, yeah. I would leave Tarzan above it, though. Tarzan was fun.
Tarzan was really good. And I'm actually going to put Horror Express below Nosferatu and Charade, I think.
You know what? Go one more. Put it below Phantom of the Opera.
You think so? I liked Horror Express. I out of people who watch these, I have
more enjoyable memories with Phantom of the Opera than I do with Horror Express.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I think you're probably right. All right, so we'll move that around. Okay, so looking at that now, we've got...
Okay.
I feel like Tarzan and the Green Goddess is an incredible movie for everything that it is, like the lion fight and everything like that. Like, I just can't be.
Yes.
Amy, I agree with you so hard. Driller Killer is the ultimate. That movie was great.
I think I missed Driller Killer Night.
Kyle, have a great night.
Yes,
Love
and
you, brother.
thank you for loosely using the term gents to describe us.
Yes, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Your compliment is highly appreciated.
Okay, so now looking at Sherlock Holmes and the Secret Weapon, which was my least favorite of them.
Right. Definitely by far the lowest of the Sherlock Holmes.
For sure.
In fact, where is Sherlock and Hound of the Baskerville?
Is it not even on here?
Yeah, we forgot to rank it because that was the night that we were having all the issues and like we got.
I think I was just over
YouTube was down, and then we went to Facebook, and Facebook kicked us out in like 5 minutes. So then we came back and restarted it all. So here, that's what I will take the pleasure of. I will place Hound of the Baskerville on here. So I would place Hound of the Baskervilles personally between Suddenly and Tarzan. Yes, no, maybe
I'm thinking about it. Sorry, I'm taking your inquiry seriously
because it is one of the
really good
most classics.
It is the classic Sherlock Holmes story. Because,
like, if memory serves, it's also one of the episodes that BBC Sherlock actually adapted was the Hound of the Baskervilles. Was it the Great Mouse Detective? One of the Great Mouse Detective movies alluded to the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Okay, so here's my counter argument.
Okay, you're a whore.
Okay, so here's what I would say about it is one of the problems with ranking all of the Sherlock movies is that there's multiple.
Right.
If there was one Sherlock movie, it would probably be, well, I do put Terror by Night right at the top because I think it's the most fun I've had on SCUM Movie Night. But if there was only one of these, any of them would be towards the top, except maybe The Secret Weapon. But the problem is because there's a few of them, it sort of dilutes it in a way.
Right, it's oversaturating the market.
Yeah, it's the reason I love Tarzan and the Green Goddess is because there's only one movie on this entire list where someone actually fought a fucking lion in real life. You know what I mean? And if there were multiple movies where there was lion fighting, then it probably would rank pretty low because it was fine, but it wasn't amazing, right? Other than some of the things that made it amazing. Same thing with
Scott,
Lost
thank
World.
you for joining us tonight. It was great having you on. 3:45, that is one hell of a commitment.
Oh my God, Scott, thank you so much. I'm a night owl too. I'll be up till 3:45, but I appreciate you hanging out with us, and it was really great to interact with you live because I've interacted with Scott in the comment section, but never live before, so this is really great.
Well, Scott, it was great having you, and you know what? If you have any other night owl friends, bring them along next week. We'll be more than happy to see you around.
Yeah, and we do this every Wednesday at 9, so.
Yep. And in fact, if you want, we usually do post the schedule and everything like that.
We do it on Facebook, but every Wednesday at 9, we're doing something on the channel.
I feel like we need to create a Vulture Culture exclusive Facebook channel, so that way, like, they don't have to just friend you; they can just follow shit and everything like that.
Yeah, I'm behind on some of the stuff like that.
We'll work on that later.
I apologize. Good night, Amy. I love you so much.
Night, Amy.
I always say it, but Amy was the one who started the whole movie night thing that I got
because
into.
Like she was doing like this live and stuff like that.
Yeah, real events. So she started the whole meetup group and everything with Neil was in that too and stuff. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha.
So anyways,
back
my
to Hound of the
argument would be that Hound of the Baskervilles, while amazing, I still feel maybe ranks underneath Tarzan right there.
I'm gonna have to argue that because I feel like that is the
quintessential.
Yes. Like it is the epitome of what a Sherlock Holmes movie ascribes to be, especially seeing for the first half the movie, there's no Sherlock.
Yeah. Oh, good night, Adam, if I'm missing you. I don't know if Adam's leaving. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah, good night, Adam, if you're leaving. If not, we'll enjoy you having you here more long. We're just saying good night in case. But no, so like it is quintessential Sherlock Holmes in my argument. In fact, like it's one of those things that like every Sherlock Holmes that has come after has said, I aspire to be Hound of the Baskervilles, more or less.
Okay, I'll give you this ultimatum. Will you...
Nikki, we're struggling because we're highly opinionated individuals and we're both right.
So I would rank Sherlock Holmes and Hound of the Baskervilles ahead of Tarzan if you will give me suddenly ahead of The Last Man on Earth. That's the ultimatum.
All right, you got a deal.
All right. We just shook hands. You guys couldn't see that, but that's the deal. So, all right. So, Hound of the Baskervilles ahead of...
Which means we need to move Detour to column 2 now.
Yeah.
Eric,
Yes,
shut up.
then-
I don't need Elijah talking for me. I can talk badly on my own.
And then Detour is getting cut out.
Yep, Detour is moving to column number 2.
Yes. Where is it?
It's column 1 too, because
Yeah, because of the issues.
Why'd you put it at the bottom? It's at the top.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
That's the bourbon talking.
Yes. Thank God somebody's here. Otherwise, Detour would have just been at the bottom the whole time. Detour was really good. God damn it. I know.
Do you need an adult?
No. I am an adult.
We're going to get you a Clippy for reorganizing the
So
list.
real quick, because we've already been focused on this for a while, are there any other of the rankings that you feel like I was just way off?
I mean, I still have nightmares about the Fever Dream of Wizard of the Oz, or the Wizard of Oz version that we watched here.
So do you feel it should be ranked higher?
I feel like I should be ranked lower. But like, I also like...
I'm cool with that.
Well, but see,
what
like-
was the 13th guest?
I have no memory of it. I don't know if I missed that night or if I was just that drunk.
Okay, so I'm going to put it below Plan 9 from Outer Space because Plan 9 was relatively okay, I remember, compared to...
Well, so like our biggest issue, because DOA I feel like was still a halfway decent movie and should have been in column 2.
It was definitely...
It set us up with the best 15 seconds of an opener where you walk into a police station, say, I'd like to report a murder, who's mine? And then cuts to black and goes backstory.
Yeah.
And then the entire time just never lived up to that powerful of a moment starting right off the bat.
Yes, that movie suffers especially from an incredible setup, you know?
Right. Because like that is one of the greatest initial premises for a movie I've ever come across.
Okay, so anything else here that you feel like I might be off on? I might be wrong about?
No,
I feel like Snow Creature is ranked a little low. And everybody always tells me Night of the Living Dead should be ranked higher, but
Snow Creature was the
like Yeti movie.
Right.
It really did suck, but I just feel like maybe it should be ranked. But then again, Carnival of Souls was a good movie.
I know, it gets tough because Night of the Living Dead was a great movie. The only reason we have it ranked as low is because of the last 5 minutes worth of racism.
Yeah.
And like that's one of the things that you can go through that whole list and you can see like there was like it gets to the point where certain one of those movies are ranked in the exact position it is because there was one moment that said fuck this movie.
Yeah,
it was like we cannot support this movie. Like, and whether it was like, I mean, like, because I know we talked about how vampire hookers had a bunch of transphobia and stuff like that.
Sure,
and homophobia and stuff, and then the racism and a lot of these movies, just because obviously they're movies of a very different time. In fact,
yeah, it's just an unfortunate part of watching older movies, and,
Right.
and hopefully everybody who's watching the channel is enough of an adult to understand that we are watching movies in the public domain. There's only so many of them.
Right.
We have to work with what we were given, and it was
Right,
a time and a place, and we're not condoning any of that.
Right, and we don't want to be in the position like and like I know you went out of your way to do this when we did the H.P. Lovecraft radio plays.
And Ryan actually was the one who got me to do that. He was like, hey, you should probably just say something ahead of time.
Right,
you know?
and like the biggest thing is that we don't want to feel like we have to make a claim every time we play one of these movies that the movie we are watching right now does not reflect the views and opinions of the people actually playing this show.
Yeah.
We're just watching this for entertainment and everything. We don't want to have to make that, because obviously these movies were made in a very different time and everything like that, and we don't want to have to to go ahead and ignore them is to basically erase that history, and we don't want to do that. Because that was a past, that was a part of the past, that is a part of the past that was fucked up, and we're trying to make a better future for it. Yeah,
and I don't know. I think the Monster Walks is the best example of that, where the movie itself was good, but then the ending is just so horribly racist as to have spoiled it for me. And it's just, it's a tough thing, because what was normal for back then isn't normal now, and yet that doesn't mean that a movie can't be okay when viewed through the lens of what makes a good movie, but
because
you have to say that. You also have to say at the exact same time that we absolutely abhor and hate racism and sexism and transphobia.
Right, it's the same thing as going in. It's like, R. Kelly's a horrible human being, but I love the remix to Ignition. It's the same basic thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure, Michael Jackson may or may not have allegedly been a pedophile.
Yeah, some seriously dark shit.
He's got a great discography.
Yeah, so it's a horrible thing to think about, but I think one difference is, though, that when you're listening to Thriller, he's not singing about raping kids.
No, right. But at the same time,
that's the difference with when we watch a movie that has overt racism or sexism,
And I think that there are definitely instances where you can have movies and shows that depict the racism, but depict it to villainize it. In fact, one of the shows I watched recently was Lovecraft Country. I keep forgetting which one. Yeah, Lovecraft Country. Which, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend.
I still haven't seen it, which is terrible because I love.
will make you watch it later.
Yes.
But it's a fantastic show, and one of the things it does is, because H.P. Lovecraft was such a xenophobe and homophobe and racist and all these other horrible things, it villainized all those aspects of him. It literally was taught and honestly, I'll be completely honest, because I was raised in a very white part of the world, I didn't know about a lot of these things that are actually historically accurate, like sundown towns. I had never heard the concept of a sundown county before watching Lovecraft Country. I hadn't heard of
it until you told me about it.
Right, which is one of the most intriguing and horrific things I could think of, to basically say is if you're here after the sun goes down, I have full rights to shoot you just because you blend in with the darkness. That's literally the definition of what a sundown county is. And I had never even heard of the concept before watching that show. And then all of a sudden, and I do think that's a failure of the American system, educational system, where they try to hide all this bad shit they did.
Yeah.
But that's another conversation for a very another day.
Sure. The point.
And another bottle of bourbon.
Yeah. The point being just that there's an interesting part of trying to say, hey, it was a thing that I hadn't considered when I started doing this.
Right. Because
I thought we were just going to watch some old movies.
Right. Because we don't ever go into this thinking it's okay, what horrible secret from our grandfathers are we going to see today?
Exactly. And I mean, really, when I started doing this, it was hey, let's watch movies. What movies can we watch? We can watch public domain movies on YouTube or Facebook. And then we've been confronted a couple of times pretty badly, but most of the time in a subtle way, especially with misogyny, just with talking about,
Oh, I was gonna say, because the very first, one of the things we started in the very first episodes was our hysterics drinking game.
Sure.
Where anytime a guy referred to a girl as hysterical or being hysteric, we would drink.
Yeah.
And now, if we were to call someone, you're not type.
Oh, I'm trying to. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and so now if we hear that, I drank all my bourbon. like nowadays, like that stuff you don't see. You don't see people calling women hysterical or something like that just for having emotions or being afraid of something or anything like that. But it is something that we see a lot in those old movies.
Yeah. And I guess a part of it is we just try to make a little bit light of some of the stuff that's not too bad, just to sort of gloss over it.
Right, because I mean,
I don't want to stop and do a social justice thing every single time that something happens in one of these movies, because the unfortunate truth is, it's just they are littered with stuff that were...
Right, so like, I mean, basically all we can do is once we see these movies, we can see where we fucked up in the past and make sure we don't do that shit again in the future.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. There's our soapbox.
We're
going to get down off that. We're going to get back to the fun stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what do you guys think? Do we have everything right on that list? Where are we at?
Yeah, actually, speaking of which, while I have you here, let's look back at the ranking real quick.
Yes.
When I have you back for SCUM Movie Night Rewind, I'd love to have you back on some other things, like we're going to have you on the 20th for moderating me and Gaetano arguing about the existence of aliens.
Okay.
Good night.
Love you too, Nikki.
I love you so much, Nikki.
I love you too.
Good night.
I'll see you tomorrow.
So, what movie I'm going to have you back for?
Well, I feel obliged to return from McClintock. I feel like that's just a necessary requirement. So, Ulysses will be making a return from McClintock.
Actually, Eric, just on that point, I actually don't feel... Now, my recollection could be failing me, but I feel like Night of the Living Dead was actually quite progressive for the time. I think in the 60s, there weren't many movies where the main character was a black man. So,
well, I was going to say...
it actually scores points with me because of being race progressive. However, I just didn't like the movie. That's the horrible thing about it. I think I'm in the minority here, but it just isn't my favorite movie.
Blazing Saddles is great, but I don't think we can play Blazing Saddles. Mel Brooks' entire library, I think, is still in public domain.
Yeah, it is not in the public domain.
Because Blazing Saddles is one of my all-time favorite movies because there are so many quotable lines. Like, in fact, if you want to go back to the camera, because I always love reenacting this scene. One of my favorite scenes is when he's talking to him in the jailhouse, and he goes, "Oh man, I don't know if I can shoot like that no more. Just look at my hand." And he goes, "Steady as a rock." It's like, yeah, but this is my shooting hand.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, Eric. I am clearly in the minority. People love that movie, and maybe when I do a SCUM Movie Night Rewind of Night of the Living Dead, I'll change my mind, but I just didn't like it the night we watched it.
I still think the fact that, because we were talking about it was extremely progressive, it did have that African-American
and it should score points for that.
Right, but I don't know if it's because of how much alcohol we had in our systems or how rage-fueled we were at that time, but we felt like it lost every single one of those points because it killed the lead so cavalierly at the end.
Yeah, and I just didn't like the movie. That's just on some level that's
that's because we still had complaints about all the white people. All the white people were the worst.
Yeah. Okay, so what movies haven't you seen, like, say, in the first column?
I haven't seen Vampire.
Okay, what else haven't you seen?
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Okay. And what else haven't you seen, maybe in the second column?
Hang on, I'm going through the first column, so I can't read.
Okay.
I don't remember if I saw Shock or not.
That's not going to be one that we rewatch.
Okay.
For a while, anyways.
Gotcha.
I'd rewatch Detour ahead of that one.
I never saw Drug Killer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I was out drinking that night.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise, out drinking. Yeah, Drug Killer and Invisible Ghost are the only two I can't remember from that list.
Okay.
Actually, I can't remember if I remember Lady Gangster or not. I have a movie coming to mind.
Lady Gangster was good.
Was that the one where
that one should rank higher?
Was that the one where the lady was seducing the guy running the radio station, and then she went to jail and he got her out and shit?
I don't remember off of that description.
She tried helping a bank robbery with a dog, as she went in with a.
No, I think that was a different one.
Are you
what that? I think that. God damn it!
I know.
We've seen a lot of movies now.
God, my memory is such. We need to stop drinking.
Yeah.
I feel like that has to be Lady Gangster because that's the only title on there that fits that category.
I thought Lady Gangster was the one with where we had that awesome.
No, suddenly was assassinating the president in there with Sinatra.
Anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, Lady Gangster has to be the bank robbery lady that romanced the head of the radio station and tried to use it to break out of prison.
All right, I accept it. Anyways, my point is, I was just trying to figure out.
Audrey Hepburn flirting with the guy that had like 12 different names, and she said, "Oh, I love you, Alex," right on Alex's birthday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was so good. So I was just trying to figure out which one, because Vampire, I'm going to try to get Jackie in on that one if I can, because she hasn't seen it either. And I just feel that's like a Jackie movie.
Yes.
And Gaetano hasn't seen Hunchback of Notre Dame, so we might have to do a 3-way on Hunchback.
Okay.
Because that movie, like, made me cry.
Right. So I don't remember why I didn't see that night, because like it's so rare for me to miss one of these nights.
Yeah. So Eric, we will be. The goal is that the first Wednesday of the month that we'll try to rewatch one of, especially the good ones.
Yeah. Anything that we saw on Facebook Live that we hold in a good regard. So like we're not going to go back and watch City of the Dead.
We will never watch 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea again. Actually, we might, because it's so terrible.
If we do, we're creating a drinking game beforehand.
Yes, a drinking game. I think I would watch 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea if I got like a bunch of women in lingerie over here. That would be fun.
Ooh, we could do it like we could set it up as like a strip poker, but like a strip drinking game where
yes.
Where like instead of like we set up like several different rule sets and like someone has to take a piece of clothing off every time something happens on screen.
Yes.
Because like the worst part about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was it was a great cinematic experience whenever it was doing the outside underwater shit.
Yes.
But the second it got back in the sub, it was the most boring thing on the face of the planet.
I've always said, like, whose idea was it that we're gonna take Jules Verne's classic and like rewrite it?
I don't know. Was that also the movie that my dad was watching with us and we had to keep apologizing to my dad because we kept swearing and saying horrible things?
I think so.
Yeah, that was funny.
Okay, so
yes,
I think we've reached the ending. Thank you so much for coming on.
Of course, always happy to be here.
You're my brother and my son.
You know you can't get rid of me that easily.
No.
Like
what's your phrase?
Herpes. I'm always around even when I ain't.
All right, so with that, we will call it a night. I love all of you guys so much. This was great. And
yes, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is a highly underrated movie. Fucking Sean Connery in that. You had a lot of great actors playing like a lot of really classic like characters. Have you ever seen League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
I feel like I might have. Thank you,
Adam.
We'll
talk about it in a minute. Sorry, Adam. You got us on another sidetrack.
Yeah.
Nikki, good night. Adam, Gaetano.
And I can't wait to have you here,
Eric.
Gaetano, on the 20th. The three of us in this room is going to be fucking magnificent.
Yeah, we're gonna need a lot more whiskey.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of alcohol.
Nikki, can you come pick me up that night?
All right, good night, you guys.
We love you all. See you all next week, if not sooner. We're always around, even when we ain't.